Hallucination. Hallucination.
Oh, hey, how's it going, everybody? It's Michael Boyd. I'm here with Read, Remember, Repeat. And we just want to let you guys know, we could be doing something selfish, things for ourselves, right? But we started a charity. And this is very unselfish on our part. Because what we want to do is give back to the kids, the youth, the orphanage, the homeless, the people that don't have those new ideas because they're stuck in a revolving door. So what we want you guys to do is definitely reach out to us.
This is the link right here. Help us save a life. Click the link and buy it. Read, remember.
Welcome, gang, to another episode of Read, Remember, Repeat. Read, Remember, Repeat. Read, Remember, Repeat. And it's your host with the most, Michael Boyd. And we are back for another educational episode. Know what I mean? I hope everybody had a wonderful day, beautiful day, prosperous day, creative day. You got all the things done that you needed to. Just prepping for your future, getting things done, moving towards where you're trying to go. Y'all know what we doing right here. Napoleon Hill's Outwitting the Devil. And this book right here is a colossal one. This is a gigantic one. Great for your mind, great for the way you think, great for things like fear, just the small anxieties that you may have in life. This book right here can put you in a place of great understanding, right? So the workbook is out. Don't forget, if you need that just to help your learning and take your life to the next level, yeah, man, let's go. Read, remember, repeat. Y'all know what we doing here. So it says, question. No, that's not it. 208, that's what we on. Question. You are leading into pretty deep water. Let's keep near the shore, where I can follow you without fear of getting beyond a safe depth. Go ahead and tell me how this subject of human relationships actually works in the current affairs of a problem-filled world such as we have today. Now the devil answers. That is a happy thought, but let me make sure you understand the principles I am telling about before I try to show you how to apply them in the affairs of life. I wish to be sure you understand that the law of hypnotic rhythm is something that no one can control, influence, or evade. But everyone can relate himself to this law so as to benefit by its inexorable operation. Harmonious relationship with the law consists entirely of the individual changing his habits so they represent the circumstances and the things the individual wants and is willing to accept. No one can change the law of hypnotic rhythm any more than one can change the law of gravity, but everyone can change himself. Remember, therefore, in all the discussion of this subject, that all human relationships are made and maintained by the habits of the individuals related. Now we're going to step away from the Q&A, and it says, no one can change the law of hypnotic rhythm any more than one can change the law of gravity, but everyone can change himself. Have you ever tried to change someone else and only been frustrated when you realized you were not in control and therefore not succeeding? That's something for y'all to think about right there, right? The law of hypnotic rhythm plays only the part of solidifying the factors which constitute human relationships, but it does not create those factors. Before we go further with the discussion of human relationships, I want you to get a clear understanding of the subconscious mind. The term subconscious mind represents a hypothetical physical organ which has no actual existence. The mind of man consists of universal energy. Some call it infinite intelligence, which the individual receives, appropriates, and organizes in definite thought forms through the network of intricate physical apparatus known as a brain. These thought forms are replicas of various stimuli which reach the brain through the 5 commonly known physical senses and the 6th sense, which is not so well known. When any form of stimuli reaches the brain and takes the definite shape of thought, it is classified and stored away in a group of the brain cells known as the memory group. All thoughts of a similar nature are stored together so that the bringing forth of one leads to easy contact with all its associates. The system is very similar to the modern office filing cabinet, and it is operated in a similar manner. The thought impressions with which one mixes the greatest amount of emotion or feeling are the dominating factors of the brain because they are always near the surface at the top of the filing system, so to speak, where they spring into action voluntarily. The moment an individual neglects to exercise self-discipline, these emotions-laden thoughts are so powerful they often cause an individual to rush into action and indulge in deeds which have not been submitted to or approved by his reasoning faculty. These emotional outbursts usually destroy harmony in all human relationships. The brain often brings together combinations of emotional feelings so powerful they completely set aside the control of the reasoning faculty. On all such occasions, human relationships are apt to be lacking in harmony. Through the operation of the sixth sense, the brain of a human being may contact the filing cabinet of other brains and inspect at will whatever thought impressions are on file there. The condition under which one person may contact and inspect the filing cabinet of another person's brain is generally known as harmony. But you may better understand what it is meant if I say brains attuned to the same rate of thought vibrations can easily and quickly exercise the privilege of entering and inspecting each other's filing cabinets of thoughts. In addition to receiving organized thoughts from the filing cabinets of other brains through the sixth sense, one can, through this same physical organ, contact and receive information from the universal storehouse known as infinite intelligence. All information reaching one's brain through the sixth sense comes from sources not easily isolated or traced. Therefore, this sort of information is generally believed to come from one's subconscious mind. The sixth sense is the organ of the brain through which one receives all information, all knowledge, all thought impressions which do not come through one or more of the five physical senses. Now that you understand how the mind operates, you will more easily understand how and why people come to grief through improper human relationships. You will also understand how human relationship may be made to yield riches in the highest form, riches in material, mental, and spiritual states. Moreover, you will understand there can be happiness except through understanding and application of the right principles of human relationships. You will understand too that no individual is an entity unto himself. That completeness of mind can be attained only by harmony of purpose and deed between two or more minds. You will understand why every human being should, of his own choice, become his brother's keeper, in fact, as well as in theory. Family, it is source time. We're going to leave y'all right there, ponder on that, and we'll be right back. Let's get it.
Turns out most people spend 70% of their life living in survival and living in stress. So they're always anticipating the worst case scenario based on a past experience. And they're literally, out of the infinite potentials in the quantum field, they're selecting the worst possible outcome and they're beginning to emotionally embrace it with fear. And they're conditioning their body into a state of fear. Do that enough times, body has a panic attack without you. You can't even predict it because it's programmed subconsciously. And the moment you decide to make a different choice, get ready because it's going to feel uncomfortable. Turns out most people spend 70% of them.
And we are back, family. Getting in this book. Jumping right back into Q&A. Let's go. Question. What you say may be true, but I still insist that you have me beyond safe depths of thought. Let us get back nearer to the shore, where I can wade in familiar water. We shall go out into the deeper water after we learn to swim well. We started out to discuss the subject of how to profit by adversity, but it seems we have drifted somewhat afield from that subject. Answer. We have detoured, but we have not drifted. The devil never drifts. The detour was necessary in order that you might be prepared to understand the most important part of this entire interview. We are not ready to get back to this discussion of the subject of adversity, inasmuch as most adversities grow out of improper relationships between people. It seems important to understand how people may become properly related. Naturally, the questions arises as to what is a proper relationship between people. The answer is that the proper relationship is one that brings to all connected with it, or affected by it, some form of benefit. Now we're going to step away from the Q&A, right? The proper relationship is one that brings to all connected with it, or affected by it, some form of benefit, right? Take a moment to inventory your relationships at home, at work, and at play. List the relationships that seem in need of improvement and keep them in your mind as you continue reading. Question. What then is an improper relationship? Answer. Any relationship between people which damages anyone or brings any form of misery or unhappiness to any of the individuals. Question. How can improper relationships be corrected? Answer. By change of mind of the person causing the improper relationship, or by changing the persons to the relationship. Some minds harmonize naturally while others just as naturally clash. Successful human relationships to endure as much must be formed of minds that naturally harmonize, quite aside from the question of having common interests as a means of bringing them into harmony. When you speak of business leaders who succeed because they know how to pick men, you might more correctly say they succeed because they know how to associate minds which harmonize naturally. Knowing how to pick people successfully for any definite purpose in life is based upon ability to recognize the types of people whose minds naturally harmonize. Remember, Hill's definition of the mastermind, harmonious coordination of two or more minds working to a definite end. That was stepping away from the Q&A, right? Back into it. Question. Stay focused on adversity, if you will. If there are possible benefits to be found through adversity, name some of them. Answer. Adversity relieves people of vanity and egotism. It discourages selfishness by providing that no one can succeed without the cooperation of others. Family, we're going to leave that at page 214. Y'all know what's going on. Read, remember, repeat. Let's go.
Cause it's the last of the plane after the plane drop. But I already smoked before I read this shit. I'm thinking to myself, this a heavy spliff. Hallucination, 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 hallucination.